hoisting it up, and then using the Spitfire to finish the job. I think that's pretty cool. Use the tools that you have, save on use. Like wow factor, but I think interesting, there's obviously no log lift for the Champion. So that's two ways that I can use both machines, but I don't want to lift up big pieces. Some of this wood can't put on Spitfire. And welcome back by Alex to an episode of Travis Does Firewood. And today we have these big rounds. We gotta get them split. Alright, so off camera I've been busy with the Spitfire splitter. Got this mound of wood here. A lot of it is shorty cuts, but all over the place. But it's okay, it's okay. I'll figure out where to put it and sell it. But all the wood you see was able to be managed by the Spitfire. Now, you see the Champion here. This is out for a reason. And I have a plan. I have an idea, and we'll see if it'll work. We have these big pieces here, these big chunks. I chunked these ones up with the Champion in vertical mode. Probably do the same thing with this one here. Some of this wood I can't put on the Spitfire because either it's too heavy for the log lift and or it's too big for this table here. Okay, it should only go from this ledge over to the pole, which I believe is, let's get a handy dandy tape measure out here. This is only 19 inches, okay? 19 inches between the pole and this guard here. Now, I have before put one on top of this and then split, but it's not a good idea. It's not safe. This is here to protect so it doesn't kick out on you and hit you in the stomach, in the groin, the chest, whatever the case may be. This is for safety and another for show. I have the Champion, and these are some big round, big chunk, and the Spitfire doesn't do very well with knots, okay? And as well as I can, this is only about like 19 inches between the tabletop and the wedge. So if I have any longer pieces, I can't use the Spitfire. So that's why I kept the Champion, but I don't want to lift up big pieces. That's why I got the addition on the 1165V, the log lift option, so I don't have to pick up rounds. But there's obviously no log lift for the Champion. So what I want to do is I want to use both, okay? Now, not everyone has the setup. Not everyone has a big box splitter and a pro grade, commercial grade, upgraded whatever splitter. I get it, but the point is to use the tools that you have to save on you, save on your body. And granted, yes, I get it before I even start them up, before I even show what the plan is. Even if you know what I'll be doing, yes, I'll be running both machines and both machines probably at the same time. So 2 motors running, 2 motors eating gas. I get it. Maybe not be may not be as efficient as possible in terms of efficiency and fuel use, but saving on the body. And I think that's key. When you spend this money on these tools, make them work for you and maybe not against you, right? So let me show you what I'm going to do. First off, we're going to be splitting down some bonfire wood, if you know what bonfire wood is, in my wood yard. And I'll show you the plan. I think this is going to be slick. I think this is going to be smooth. Stay tuned. think that is pretty slick. Now, obviously, there are other tools, other splitters that are cheaper that would have a log lift. I think, what is that like? There's that green big box splitter that is like $2,000 or so, and that has a log lift on it. I don't think the cycle speed is any different from the Champion, but it has a log lift on it, which is pretty cool. I think log lift is key. But obviously the Champion does not have that, and it's not every time I'm splitting that I have massive chunks like that. Something that the 1165V can't get through. But I think it's good to have a setup like this. So I need to remember that so the Champion parks up perpendicular. The log lift is at the end to make sure that I have space to move around. It does come from having to walk around this whole thing to get to the Spitfire, but there are times too off camera that I was able to put the round or the chunk on the log lift, bring it up, then move it over here on the table, right? So you have the chunk, the lift up, for example, on the table. Then you come around and you move it onto the Champion, either from either side, right? And then you split it through once. Now you have two chunks. Now the log lift here is now a table that you can put the other chunk onto it over here so it doesn't fall down, and then you ram it through. Now the issue with that is the potential danger of, or risk of, if you have a big chunk, a big round, and you're splitting it with single way in halves, make sure that you're holding on to both now halves, because if this half here on this side, if it falls over, it may roll and then hit the motor controls at the Spitfire, and we don't want that. Or it would fall down and hit the motor on the Champion. So very carefully, I mean, ideally I have two people, right? Carefully have the other half put it onto the log lift as a table, and then you're going to be rock and rolling on the other half that's closer to you, right here, ramming it through. Now what I have done, and I'll show you in a minute, is what I'll do is I'll have both machines running. I will have the 1165V with idle down. Whatever pieces of wood that I chunk up on the Champion that the Spitfire can split through, I'll put it on here, okay? And whatever the Champion needs to eat through, like chunks, it will eat through the Champion, and then I'll walk around, go back to the 1165V, and then split whatever is a straight grain or what I know that it can handle, get that done, because the speed variance between the 1165V and the Champion is enough to make me walk around and split on that machine versus the Champion. There's much of a difference. So it all works out. The only issue is running two machines at the same time, motor wise, but running one at a time, obviously, because I can't run both at the same time because I'm one person. That'd be too dangerous / impossible. What I'm saying is two motors are running at the same time. Yes, I could turn them off, but that's just a lot of like turning off, then having to pull, and then turning off, having to pull. I think it's fine just letting them run as long as I am working with them at the same time, versus if I walk away, then yes, I'll turn them off. But anyway, so let me do this one more time, and then I'll show you how I will come around and I'll split. I have not chunk up, but split on both machines. Let's do it. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, maybe that's not a great secret or a secret at all, but I think using the machines you have to the best of their ability, making use of them in very unique ways to make sure that you're saving on yourself and while being safe and efficient as possible. Now, there's one other way that I have used these machines in tandem before, and I'll show you that right now as well. And again, again, it's not a secret. Maybe it's not crazy like wow factor, but I think it's interesting and maybe something that you could use maybe in your woodyard. Let's do this. All right, so that all did not go to plan. I was struggling. If I pan down here, I was struggling with this cedar around here. So that I believe this is like from the base of the tree because it is dense and it is waterlogged. It's full of water, and it was just insanely heavy, way too much for me to attempt to lift up. Now it's hard to get up off on the lip to get this thing to split, but I got it enough where I got one chunk. So I think what I'll do the rest, this is all pretty much straight grain. I'll take my axe and I'll chop it into chunks on the ground. But I think the principle still works. And I want to say, I think you understood what I was trying to do. Using the Champion, using the big box splitter in vertical mode because it's a transformer, and then putting the round carefully, don't pinch your fingers, carefully on there and chunk it up into manageable pieces. And then from there, using the log lift on the Spitfire, hoisting it up, and then using the Spitfire to finish the job. Now, with this example, I don't need to have both machines running. I can do what I need to do on the Champion, turn it off, turn on the Spitfire, and then rock around that to finish off the wood. So you saw me to split up the chunk that I bit off of this round, but it was a struggle, and I didn't want to bore you with having me try to muscle my way through it. That's the whole point of the machine. That's what I'm trying to get at. Use the you have the machines in your wood yard. Use them to your advantage. Okay, so that's two ways that I can use both machines, the Champion and the Spitfire 1165V, because they're both in here. And I'm glad that I did not get rid of the Champion because it still has its uses around the wood yard. Wood that is too long, the bonfire wood that I don't want to buck up to size, and because I do accept tree service wood, sometimes wood is a little bit knotty, and I put that in a pile, and then use the Champion for it to knock that out. It will do it. It just would take its time, right? As well as to use the Champion to chunk up bigger rounds when possible, and then from there using the log lift on the 1165V and rock and roll if the job that way. So two ways, dig it. So let me know if you have something similar in your wood yard. Maybe I understand that not everyone is going to have a bigger grade splitter. I think a lot of you will probably be in the tune of the Champion, a big box splitter, perhaps. But if you had a log lift like this, would you use it like I just showed you in this episode? If you have any ideas, I have any different, let me know down in the comments. But I want to hear from you. What do you use in your wood yard when you needed to? It's too long, it's too big, it's too knotty. What do you do, and what tools do you use to make sure that you can cut them up to size without killing yourself? Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Remember, life is short to be a prick, so be kind to one another. Rock and roll. Stay safe, keep cutting. Cheers. Frog in the background. I don't know if you hear that or not.